following is a production of Dirty Mo Media. Hey everybody, it's Dale Jr. and we're back again for another episode of the Dale Jr. Download. It's Tuesday and TJ Majors, my co-host, is here. How you doing, TJ?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right, man. We are 45 minutes late. I want to admit that up front. I am late.
You?
I am late. Yep. Sorry, Travis. Travis is here. Yes, I am late, people. I don't know what's going on, man, but I mean, you went to Sonoma and you're here on time, but
I promise you I got back later than you.
You did? Oh, yeah.
I got back a lot later than you.
And I had, we both had all day yesterday to sort of regroup, but
well, I had
you want to know
yesterday.
the truth, TJ.
You're just late.
You want to know the truth?
You overslept.
Dirty truth. Gosh.
Sure.
I was up last night working on my playbook for
I
college
knew
football
it.
26.
That's exactly, I knew it.
Yes.
Already.
Man, I got another admission.
Oh, and this is it all out.
This is just
confession room today.
This is more like bless your heart content, but I got to put this out there too. I have developed this habit that I hate about myself, and I used to not be this way, but so we get to a point to where we put the kids down. That's right around 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's a little later in the summer. But okay, when that actual thing happens where we've put the kids to bed, I'm going to go downstairs, and chances are I'm probably going to play a game that's on our schedule in college football.
Yeah.
Or sit on the couch with Amy. But whatever's, she'll go to bed, and I stay up. And, man, it's 12 o'clock. And, I mean, I'm just sitting there watching YouTube or...
It goes by quick.
Yeah, like dude. Last night, she goes to bed. I looked at the clock, and I'm like, dang, it's 1 o'clock. Like, she stayed up pretty late. Usually, I kind of go off of her when she gets up and goes to bed.
There's a clock there that you don't
There's
really know.
a middle clock in my head, and I'm like,
exactly.
All right, it's probably 10:30 or 11:30. I looked at it, it's 1 o'clock. You know what my ass did? I got up, went in the living room, sat down, and watched the 1993 Daytona or Firecracker 400. For no damn reason.
Well, it's
I went to bed at 3:30.
You can justify it a little bit this week because you're still probably West Coast time.
No, but like this.
I know what you're saying, though.
I do this. I'm like, I'm everything in the universe is saying, yeah, it's better go to bed. You got a damn podcast to do in the morning. But that YouTube Firecracker 400 1993 is staring right at me, and I'm like, I gotta watch this shit, man. What happened? I
do the same thing.
And you know what? Dad about busted his ass on the last lap off of turn 2 and had to block the out of Kenny Schrader. And then Sterling Marlin, who was driving the Stavola Brothers number 8. I think I was at this race, I feel like. But I don't remember him nearly losing. I mean, led most of the race.
Yeah.
And he nearly lost on the last lap.
How do you
really close?
If you were there, how did you watch it?
And then I was
TV
standing in the pits.
Yeah.
And so then I get up and it's 3:30 and I'm like, yep, I regret this decision. And then I wake up this morning and I'm regretting it even more. And everything's behind. Everything's, once you do that, everything's behind. Sonoma was a great weekend.
Yeah, it was fun.
A lot to unpack here. First off, we had some comments on the show last week about the actual broadcast itself. I felt like we made some big gains, man. I walk out of every booth absolutely critical of myself, and I there were things that I was really excited for that race, right? And I might have poured it on a little thick at some moments during the race, just in my own opinion of what I did. But get a little bit too excited and sort of too not giving the rest of the booth the space that they need. But that's kind of a personal observation of just my own work. But man, I felt like compared to the week before, Chicago, it'll never be that hard again. You know, Chicago is going to be as hard as it gets. Sonoma was tough, you know, and man, it was fun. Saturday we sat in the production truck and talked to the production team a little bit about the Xfinity race and watched the Xfinity race. We watched some of our practice show back and looking at some of the cuts and things like that and how we're switching from one camera to another. I'm learning a ton in this process. I can't do another job in that production compound. I can't do their job. And they're amazing at what they do, and it's so complicated in doing. I think producing a sporting event is tough enough, but a race is maybe the toughest sporting event to produce, to direct, because the field's not right there in front of you.
Sure.
You know? And so you're chasing this snake. You're chasing these stories and these cars, and man, there's 5 battles to show at one point. Which one are you going to show? Are you showing the right one? Are you showing the one that you should be showing? It's just a lot. But, man, we made some big gains, I thought, from Chicago to Sonoma. That felt great. Still some, you never leave any show going, man, that was as good as we're going to be. One of the best advice I've ever gotten was with TV, and I kind of think this is true with a lot of things. It's never as bad as it feels, and it's never as good as it feels.
And I think if the race isn't as good as what fans want it to be, then the fans are gonna hold the broadcast more accountable than if the race is great, then the broadcast is great.
Well, my opinion about that, Travis, is the race is always great. And I know that you can say, well, what about Kentucky when Truex won by 17 seconds or whatever? Or, Mexico City, where SVG had won by one of the largest leads we'd seen in years. I'm of the opinion that the race is always great. Like we're never going to show. That I guess that's me just being a big fanboy of NASCAR. But
a lot of times you're either in the booth or your passion for racing is much different than like a fan of mine, or the average fan that's at home watching it on their couch.
Good point, but yeah. So I guess I'll say like I never am going to leave the booth and go, well, we couldn't carry that. We couldn't. The race was so bad. Yeah,
you're not gonna ever feel like that.
So
I'll give you that. Your guys' energy never fell off.
Yeah. I just feel like there's always something happening, and if SVG drives away and is going to drive away after every restart and not be, there's not going to be much of a story up there. There's always something, and I felt like we did a really good job of trying to improve on what we're creating. We got a couple weeks left here with Dover and Indy.
Dover will be good.
Yeah. And so, going to an oval and that's a little, I hope, I'm still kind of learning, being able to, I think with NBC, I didn't really bother the production truck or the compound that much. I looked at NBC and was like, I was the new guy coming in. I wasn't going to go sit in the truck and go, hey man, I think we should do this or try this or how does this happen or why does this happen? But with TNT, they're like, hey, everybody come on in, everybody, let's all talk about this and see what ideas come to the top of the surface here. But it's I'm learning a crap ton, man. It's awesome. So I felt pretty good about it. But
Dover, you'll be back you'll be able to see the track.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, you'll have a
view.
At
Sonoma, we could see from turn 4 all the way down to the braking zone of 11. I couldn't see the cars going through turn 11, but I could see them heading there out of 10.
You know what's getting ready to happen.
I could see them go by us on the front straightaway.
Yep.
At the flag stand, then they'd disappear. I couldn't see 1, 2, 3, 3A, 4. But I could see enough, and I felt like we kind of stayed on. I would say for Chicago, we were chasing the race. Felt like we were chasing the race the whole time. When the broadcast is going really well, you feel like you're in front of the race.
Yeah.
I felt like we were on top of it.
I think seeing the track though, you get to
seeing
stay
the track really helps.
Yeah, because you can you see what's getting ready to happen before it happens.
Oh,
In
yeah.
Chicago, you can't call it until it happens.
Yeah, no. I had a lot of fun. The race itself, I thought, was a good race. Jeff Gluck does his poll every week. I'm not sure where it landed. I thought it was 68% or something when I looked at it last, but I feel like it was a pretty solid race. From just a general perspective of entertainment, there was a lot going on, and
62 is where it ended.
Oh, that's pretty low. I'd give it about a 75, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, a guy whooped everyone's tail, so it's going to be hard to get a high number on that.
What was wrong with the race?
There wasn't a whole lot of passing up there at front.
No.
The strategies were kind of
straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, the guy, I think when he flipped stage 2 and won it, that was like the holy shit, right? What does anybody else, what can you do?
And that's the thing is like,
what can you do? Well, I just want to finish my point. Like, if a guy flips the stage and then wins the stage,
I thought
that's the
same
ultimate
thing.
You.
Yeah.
That's like there's that state. The rest of the field's got there's no strategy, right? Unless they all didn't pit and put him in the back of the field. But eventually you got to pay the penalty and come to pit road and get fuel and tires and all those things. I mean, he just
can you fix that?
No,
get better.
Get better.
Yeah,
I guess he SVG just kind of smoked him. There was a lot of things going on in the back of the field or in the middle of the pack, and some interesting.
There were comers and goers.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, the tire in the first stage, Larson fell off real bad at the end of the stage.
Denny sucked. He had no rear grip.
Right, but like
Denny faded hard.
There were some cars that, there were some cars that faded really bad at the end of some of these runs. So whatever Goodyear's done with this new tire at the road courses, I know we still ain't seeing, SVG kind of spoiled the opportunity to see some battles up front, but, that tire has
created some good racing.
Comers and goers. It's a big improvement over the original tire that we were running before.
Yeah, that tire was definitely in the right direction.
So let's you were involved in one little situation, TJ, with Ty Gibbs.
I wasn't involved in anything.
Well, you were kind of you are involved.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Are you not?
I wasn't physically involved.
You're not a team player. You're not when your boys are in the muck, you ain't right there with them, even though you're on top of a hill somewhere.
I didn't even know it went down till after
a
little while later, but yeah.
Well, your boy Telvin.
Yeah.
Who is Ohio State in our college football league. So Telvin carries tires, correct?
Yep.
He's the one that Ty Gibbs hit when he comes into the pit box. So Telvin is standing in the pit box. He's got both tires in his hands. Ty Gibbs clips the tire in his left hand. Telvin's not out in the middle of the box. He's up against the wall. There's, and I, so the way this plays out is let's back up a little bit to an incident that happened down in turn 11. Ty Gibbs faded right to block a braking zone move.
Chris was close enough to pass him.
Chris Buescher was close enough to pass. Christopher faded right into the braking zone. Ty Gibbs blocks him. Christopher just pops him in the ass and ships him on into turn 11.
Wait, Christopher or Chris?
Christopher. He slides up the racetrack, Ty Gibbs does, and Christopher goes on. And that's a move we see time and time again. If I'm Ty Gibbs, I'm pissed off, but I'm also thankful that I didn't spin out.
You also took the risk by making that block.
You block,
you pay.
You pay. I saw you and a little gaggle of spotters you had on the golf cart about 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Y'all were getting ready to go up to the spotter stand, and I said, hey, guys, I want to see some people get spun out today. You block, you pay. Tell your drivers. If they block, they pay. All right?
I delivered the message for you.
You did. So Chris Buescher said, you block, you pay. right there in that moment.
But he didn't do it. He didn't spin him out.
I would say he did spin him out. So Ty Gibbs Ty Gibbs could be a little disgruntled about it, but at the same time go, well, I'm thankful I'm not backwards and losing 10, 20 spots here. So, and by the way, you block, you pay. If there's like a 10 commandments in NASCAR or in racing, that's one of them. We should write
we need to do this.
We should write a 10 commandments.
But
we can start off by putting you block, you pay on the board.
But there's definitely a gap where the guy behind you has caught you enough, right?
Yeah.
That he's got you.
Yeah, I mean if you block into the braking zone of 11 or turn 7, I think it's totally fair for the guy to give you a little bumper to shove you a little beyond your braking zone and up off the bottom of the corner so you can bend around the turn and pass, okay? And you shouldn't right rear or wreck the guy. Maybe you bump him in the next corner and get him back, but it's sort of an eye for an eye in that situation.
It is.
Well, all those that happens all day long. There's all kinds of contact and guys pushing each other through the braking zones. Well, Ty Gibbs then immediately after that, during I believe a green flag pit stop cycle, comes into his pit box, and Telvin is in the 6th box, where your driver, Brad Keselowski, is also pitting right behind the 54. They're pitting together. The 54 drives through the 6th box. That's not uncommon. You've got to drive through a box or two to get into your box properly.
Absolutely.
The 54 does have an out in front of him. Nobody's in front of him, so he doesn't really need to get pointed too aggressively to be able to exit his own box. But he does drive through your box a little more shallow than he had the stops before, the times before. But there is this red marker, there's this red stripe on the corner of the box. And I believe that is to signify, where how far a driver can drive through the boxes, right?
Well, that marks for if he's coming around us. That's the mark he has to go by if he's coming around us already. So,
well, Ty mentioned that line right there and said, that's kind of something he uses or something that he pays attention to be able to approach the pit box that he's trying to get into. And so, but that also is a good reference for like where he was or how he pitted prior to that. And so, anyways, he hits Telvin. Telvin and the boys get a little pissed off about that because they felt like he did kind of come in there a little bit shallow. And there's a little bit of a pushing and shoving match between some of the crew members on Ty Gibbs and some of the crew members on the RFK team for the number 6 car. And so if you look at that thing from a 40,000-foot view, you think, okay, Ty did that on purpose because of what happened in turn 11. He's pissed off and he can't, he's like, and is Ty Gibbs that devious that he's like, well, it's not the 17, it is the 6 though, so I'll show these son of a if I can't get back at Chris Buescher, I can at least show my displeasure to the 6 team. Well, that's pretty freaking devious.
Pretty deep.
That's a bridge too far for me.
It is. I just can't believe maybe he's that much of a
It'd be one thing if they had the same sponsored car or the pit crews were wearing the same.
I'm just saying, like, when I got pissed off at a driver, I didn't start taking it out on his teammates if I couldn't reach him or couldn't somehow affect his race or get him back. It never crosses your mind to go, well, I'll his teammate over and that'll show him. I just can't believe that Ty Gibbs, his mind went there.
I agree.
Right? Because I don't think it did. But it is possible, and I saw this comment on social media, the guy named Jerry, I believe. He said that this was akin to the brushback pitch in baseball, where you'll throw high and inside and get the batter to back up off the plate. Or, a pitcher might throw a pitch, maybe something happened in the game, there was some contact, or a bad pitch from the previous inning that pissed everybody off on that team, and the pitcher for the other team goes in and gets one in there tight against the batter, and it's like a message, right? I would say, if anything, that's what this is, which in baseball, that's kind of part of the game, right? And so, no doubt, if this was intentional, if you could prove it to be intentional, he should be penalized, because you can't use your race car in a dangerous situation around bodies on pit road, right? That is by far, I mean, if you could prove it to be intentional, then you'd have to say, dude, and he's got a little bit of a history here. I think he's been penalized before for something on pit road. You'd have to say, look, man, but how do you prove it to be intentional? How could you prove it? That's the question. So we can't prove it. I don't think you can prove it. He's never, unless he admits it. But yeah, pretty. If this was really intentional, that's super brazen. But damn, dude, I mean, he is trying to get into his pit box, and in those situations, we're always kind of taught as drivers, if we're Brad, to give up a car length or two to allow our guys to get time to run around the car. And you can't argue that, TJ. You know that's true.
It is true, but look at the gap. We're following him in.
I know, but Telvin's move to get out is right behind that 54.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, if you want my side of it, I think that Ty, I don't know if he got behind and it surprised him when his pit stall came up, which maybe that could have happened. Maybe it was like that perspective right there shows Ty turning in relatively late. Ty can drive. Ty could have three.
I know three
stalls.
No. If you watch that other perspective, where we're on the head cam right here. Look, he turns in. He barely clips the second stall. Like he doesn't even. He puts one tire on the outside corner of stall number 2.
That's why I'm saying I think he might maybe he got behind in his count, because we are coming around the corner right there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Ty was thinking ahead. I also know that Ty is very good at doing little things on the racetrack. Like Ty does a lot of little things that you might not ever see. He does.
He does.
When you're side drafting him, he swerves at you, things like that.
So I know, to your point, TJ, Ty Gibbs does come across as that petty little, I'll show you all the time behind the wheel of the car.
Teammates, not teammates, he's always that way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the Xfinity Series, he's pretty aggressive with his teammates.
He's wrecked him for a win.
I agree. Look, the history that he has would tell you that this is probably an intention. Like the history that he has would tell you that, man, this might be something that he meant to do. Like he really tried to send a message here.
So we also know there's one more part to it. We had
but I am amazed.
That's wild to think that a driver is going to do that.
I agree. It's just hard for me to believe. I'm that kind of person though, that just can't believe the worst in somebody. You know, I'm not going to assume the worst case scenario.
Now you know I feel dealing with you in the football league.
I want to yes,
but
exactly.
There's a difference though.
That's a great point. Like I want to assume that this dude wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that.
I don't think there's a driver in the Cup Series that is actively going to aim their car for a pit.
But it's member.
I don't think he aimed for it. I don't think
he aimed.
For him.
I think it was like a brushback. Like
it was.
But that's what people are making it seem like, is he was trying to hit him. Like,
look,
RFK's putting out more videos.
He's not trying to hit anybody.
He's not trying to hit him.
But I do think there's the potential that he was definitely like a brushback pitch kind of scenario where he's like you get out of the way, get out of my way, I'm coming into my stall, and he ties it. If you could make the argument that he tied it together between what happened with Chris Buescher in turn 11. I know it's a stretch, and I don't want to believe that's true. That's true, but the history that Ty has doesn't help him in this argument.
We had also just ran him down, and he knew that we were faster than him. So I want to get this guy away from me, so I'm going to try to get him back and have a bad stop.
I don't think he's thinking that. No.
Okay, you don't want to be passed? He wanted to be passed on the track. Yeah.
No, TJ. I'm just saying I don't think he's thinking that coming into his pit stall. I think he's just trying to get in his stall and not f*** up his pit stop. I think when I'm coming on pit road, all of the things that have happened to me on the track, all the shit I'm mad about or annoyed about, I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just like, position my car in the stall, don't f*** this up, right? Don't get too deep in the stall, don't get too far left so they can't jack the car up, land where I'm supposed to land so the changer is right there at the
perfect spot.
At the spot. I just trying to I can't multitask.
See, I think a lot of them do now. I think it's advanced now.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
They're better than you, Dale.
Well, I'm just saying there's more layers to it now.
They're like robots out there.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's like a robot, man. Like
I don't know, man. I just listen, what I think should happen is that if I was NASCAR, if I was Helton or the old Helton or the new Helton, I'd get Ty Gibbs to come into the truck next week when we go to Dover. I'd sit him down. I'd say, hey, can't prove this was intentional. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. I just want you to know, do a little better job next time. You can't, those guys, Telvin's not in a bad spot. Telvin's not in a vulnerable spot. He's out of the way. You can get in your box without running into him. If you look at where Ty Gibbs is in his pit box, he's got a little room to give in terms of where his car is. He set his car perfectly in his box. He did. But considering the fact that there are crew members on the racetrack or on pit road in the box behind his, he could have made the adjustment. And again, I think Brad could have backed up a little bit so Telvin could have made, and Telvin wouldn't have been as vulnerable to have to get out there when he did. But these guys are taught not to be giving up half a car length on pit road. In my day, that wasn't a big deal. So Brad might say, hey, Dale, I can't give up half a car length. I can't back up and give my guys the space. We can't afford to do that. I'm trying to beat this guy off pit road. If we beat him if his pit stop goes the way it should, I'm going to beat the 54 to the end of pit road and take the spot. I get that. I think it's
I will tell you that it was actively said on our radio that give a gap for the guys on the way in.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, good. So they're still doing that. So maybe he could have. I don't know.
I just think Ty was too aggressive with it.
He was aggressive.
And that's it. He had open boxes.
Do you think it was on purpose?
I don't. I think it all added together, and he wasn't against. I don't think he's trying to hit the guy, but I think he's trying to make it hard.
He's not trying to hit the guy.
I think he's trying to make it hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't like the second turn in like he was late. Ty, your crew chief tells you when you're coming up here, hey, you got your openings in.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm with you. So are you saying I feel the same way? I think we're saying the same thing.
Probably.
I'm surprised that he didn't drive through the second box.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you had 3 openings in. The 51 was before us. He's not sitting there.
Yeah.
So
so maybe if he had not taken such a hard angle into your box, maybe he's not hitting Telvin.
Absolutely.
And Telvin might actually not think he's coming that far. 100%. Telvin might see him coming at a different angle and go, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit, wait a beat.
It looks bad because he's aimed right at Telvin.
It looks bad because he's aggressive on his turn.
That's the most believable. Is he was too aggressive and should have come in sooner.
Yeah. But why be that aggressive turning it? Turning makes the pit stop harder.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It makes it harder to position the car. If you come in straight.
Well, if you look at the cars, Brad, if you back that up, Brad's almost to his left rear quarter.
Where? He's not even
right there, dude. He's right at his left. He's at his left rear quarter panel.
I don't think he's as close as.
But if Ty would have gotten over sooner,
dude. Looking right at it, Brad is at his left rear bumper.
No, he's not. It's not that close. I promise you.
He's not beside him, TJ. I'm just saying he's offset, and maybe the 54 is seeing that and going, "Where the you going at?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe Ty just didn't see it because it is around a corner right there.
Yeah,
but
maybe Ty was also watching the 6 a little further down pit road and didn't realize, drove up on top of the boxes and had to be aggressive because he's looking where the 6 is.
I will say that, and this, I'm not being biased here, but Brad to me is over aggressive, giving room for the guys, because we followed guys in ton this year. We followed guys in, and he leaves
Brad
way more room than what I want him to leave.
Look at how many boxes Brad drives through right there. Brad drives through a whole box.
He's like
two boxes. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. And Ty could have done the same thing.
Yeah. If Ty had done that.
But I mean, if you're Talvin, how do you react?
Oh yeah. Are you okay with the reaction?
I mean, if you're Talvin, it was a tire changer.
No,
it was Talvin.
No, it was Talvin. Look at him. I mean, that's Talvin.
Yeah. Well,
like, would you be mad that just the angle that he comes in, it looks like he's aiming for you? And he said, within his in 10 years of doing this, he's never had a guy do that.
Yeah.
It's one thing being mad, but are you?
Talvin's done this 10 years.
He's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
Are you okay with one pit crew going up to another pit crew during the race and having this confrontation?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, if they're passionate, man.
Yeah.
Thankfully, everybody was okay and everybody carried on. And
do we need to review when we're allowing pit crew members over the wall going forward?
That's something that is a bit interesting because Talvin's on pit road standing.
Yeah. I don't know what the rule is for the gap.
Yeah, well, I know, but I remember years ago we jumped off the wall.
Yeah,
right. Everybody did, but now they're allowing the carrier to be on pit road as the car's coming in, and so if Talvin's up on the wall with the jack man, the tire changers, and everybody else, he probably doesn't get hit.
Correct,
but you got I don't know.
Yeah, probably for sure then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a problem with him going into those other guys' pit box, but I also don't have a problem with them reacting the way they did. I kind of think, you come into my pit box, you got to be ready for whatever's coming.
Yeah. I just watched it again, and seeing Ty get pointed out like he did, he knew what he was doing, in my opinion. When you come in and you react late, you don't get pointed out. You just you're like, oh God, I just got to get in the box here straight. When you come in and get it pointed back out, he knew where he was going. He didn't have the look when you're pointing out. If you come in late, you're like, oh, God, get it in here. Like, he had the, smooth. Like, to me, it's perfect.
Yeah.
How he aimed out.
So you think NASCAR should have punished him?
Yeah, that's the question, I guess.
I don't know if they should punish him.
Well, you just said he did it on purpose. So
I think he knew what he was doing. I don't think he tried to hit a guy, but I think he knew what he was doing.
That's another thing I think there's a good debate online. When you watch all of this, Ty Gibbs didn't do anything that you could penalize.
Exactly.
He didn't do anything that you could penalize. He would have to admit that he did this on purpose for you to penalize him.
Yeah.
Because looking at the film, he broke no rule.
I agree.
And people, unfortunately, get hit sometimes on pit road.
And to your point, because it's Ty Gibbs, if this was, Chase Elliott, someone else, we wouldn't be having the same outrage.
You're right. But Ty Gibbs, that's Ty Gibbs' responsibility, not ours.
Correct.
Ty Gibbs has created the narrative.
I mean, looking at all the lines in the other boxes.
Don't you feel like I'm right about that?
Some of it, but I also think because it's, he's Joe Gibbs' grandson, people don't believe he doesn't. So, he gets added on hatred because of...
But he created that narrative.
He does.
Some of it, but I think
some of it.
People,
actions.
Okay, but because he's got the ride, then they're like, oh, Grandpa gave it to you. So
that's not it.
No.
But people are adding that on to it.
That's a little bit maybe if some people might feel that way. The dude is freaking talented.
Yeah.
He's a badass race car driver, particularly on the road courses, and smoked our ass in the damn Xfinity series when he was there. So, I mean, he belongs.
He knows what he's doing.
He's earned the ride, but his actions sometimes around, his actions sometimes on the racetrack just are interesting and odd. And
it's not his first offense. So when you have a guy that's a repeat offender acting like that, you bring that up on yourself, in my opinion. But Ty is a very talented race car driver, and we all had him pegged to win his first, multiple wins. You know what I mean? He's had some struggles, but he started off really good in the Cup Series. So, he's great at road courses.
I do want to say, to put a button on the Ty Gibbs, Brad Keselowski deal, the crew chief for Brad, his comment or his quote was to Jackman Braxton Brannon on the 54, "It's your right to drive through there. It sucks, but it is what it is." So, I mean, I think everybody looks at it and goes, there's not an obvious penalty.
Yeah, I agree.
Or anything NASCAR. And because people were like, people were a bit annoyed that NASCAR called it fair. And I'm in the booth with Steve, and Steve's watching, and he's like, man, there's nothing illegal there. There's no penalty. And I couldn't see one either.
He's definitely close to the line.
Yeah.
Hey, TJ, I like that phone. Is it new?
Yeah, I got this awesome new phone. I've recently joined the Consumer Cellular family, and they hooked me up with a great phone and great service.
You're telling me that your phone actually works at the racetracks?
Yeah, my phone has been excellent at the racetracks, and honestly, you can't beat the Consumer Cellular service and the offers they have going right now.
I mean, that's cool, but I'm assuming that it's probably kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, that's funny. Consumer Cellular is a steal of a deal. I don't know why more people have not made this switch. Nationwide service, fraction of the price, the 2 for $60 plan, no long-term contract. I mean, it's awesome.
All right, I'm in. So how do I get this deal?
They basically have an elite pit crew on standby waiting for you to call and make the switch. It's 100% U.S.-based customer service. Takes around 20 minutes, and it'll be one of the best decisions you ever make. And now it couldn't be a better time to switch to Consumer Cellular and get $25 off with code DJD25. That's DJD25 for $25 off when you switch to Consumer Cellular. Go to consumercellular.com/DJD and use promo code DJD25.
Josh Berry.
Another good one.
Yeah, Josh Berry had a pretty eventful last couple of laps of the race. I text Josh after the race, but and I'll tell you what his opinion was. But he the 43 of Jones spun off the nose of the 21 coming out of turn 7. That looked like possible payback from the week before at Chicago. And and you know what? Hey, that's how you do it. If because I was watching that Chicago race, and y'all know Josh drove here. Josh is a friend of mine, and so you call it whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. But that is not a passing zone down the hill into turn 7 at Chicago. And
ironically, they're both turn 7s.
Yeah, but so the 43 wrecked Josh at that turn in Chicago, and it's not a pass. That's not a pass. Is that an area where you think you're trying to make a pass, TJ?
Man, that's a really risky area. Yeah. No, not. Yeah. I mean,
and so Josh is like, dude, what are we doing? Josh probably didn't even expect the 43 to make the move into the braking zone of 7 there at Chicago and do that. So Josh is a racer, and he's like, hey, perfect opportunity right here, turn 7, couple laps to go. So he didn't give Jones a break. Got into his back bumper, spun him around. Intentional or not, I don't got a problem with that one. But then we get to the top of the hill in turn 2, and it looked to me like this one was you're out of here. So if we watch, this all kind of starts back in turn 11. Josh goes down into turn 11, gets into the back bumper of the 77. Nice little tap right there. Hits him in the quarter panel a little bit on corner exit.
They get 3 wide.
They're beating and banging the 45. Josh is just banging with the 45. They're 3 wide.
Yeah. And Josh and the 77 are older tires.
Yep. And Josh is just trying to survive. They go up the hill, and this looked really intentional to me because, Josh just drives in and pops the 77 in the ass, and he's gone. And so I text Josh, and I'm like, damn, dude, I text Josh, and I was like, come on, man. Way to go.
Now it comes out.
Yeah. I text Josh, I was like, come on, man. And he's like, actually,
I think he missed the corner.
He's like, actually, the 77, I just cooked it in there too far. I didn't mean to do that. And I was like, okay, I didn't know if you was wrecking hosts of R for the community or what. But
it was well received.
Yeah, well received. But it got a lot of text afterwards. But anyhow, I just thought that was kind of funny. Josh ended up turning a pretty sour. Josh has struggled at the road courses. He's I think he would admit that he's got a lot of gains to make as a driver at those racetracks, and they squeaked out a 13th place finish after probably having
pretty good.
Average running position of probably 28th all day.
I was gonna say he was way back there.
Yeah, he was.
So that's a solid run.
Yeah, he took out a few guys there to turn that 15th into a 13th.
I mean, obviously, I think the 43 was probably perfect scenario lined up, and he wasn't gonna. He could have cut him a break and lifted a little bit.
Like, you didn't cut me a break. I'm not cutting you one. If I'm Erik Jones, I'd probably be like, all right, we're even.
We're moving forward.
Josh got the worst. Josh got the worst end of that deal by far in Chicago.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, nose head on into the wall. Erik just spun out.
Erik spun out and got to carry on. He gets to drive away.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point.
And NASCAR's probably like, listen, we didn't punish Erik Jones. So now we got this action. Yeah. This is good for us.
And everybody who's sitting here going, Dale Jr. and his Josh Berry fandom, of course he's going to have his back. You're right. You are absolutely right. Josh is the man.
But why?
He's on the list we can't make fun of on this show.
Yeah, that's right.
No matter who it is.
We can make fun of Josh.
We could.
We can when it's warranted.
When warranted, yeah.
Yeah. And I made fun of him for the host of our deal. Yes. If he really cooked it in the corner and up, we can make fun of that. But the thing with Erik, the thing with Jones off of 7's kind of like hey man, that's kind of is what it is. If I can get you, I'm gonna get you.
It worked out.
Because if you don't, Josh is still, even though Josh is like 33 or whatever, he's still relatively kind of green in the NASCAR Cup world. Erik Jones is a veteran. Erik Jones is one of those guys that's gonna hold his ground as well. He's pretty aggressive. He doesn't like to get pushed around, and he's gonna push back. That's the way you got to be. You got to be. If you get the chance to get the guy back, you got to get him back, because if you don't, he's gonna do this that he did to you in Chicago over and over and over. They're going to know that they can push you around. You ain't going to do nothing.
For sure.
And so Josh has to kind of do it some. And this is a great scenario.
Erik's done this. Erik does do this occasionally.
He does. Erik's aggressive. I'm fine with the way Erik races. He's aggressive.
First year in Chicago, he wrecked us.
I think his move at Chicago is
You know what he's not going to do again? He's not going to pass Josh into 7 again like that.
Probably shouldn't.
Listen,
I think that was a fun little. I was sitting there in the booth laughing. I thought it was kind of a little comedic, especially the first deal. I was like, oh yeah, there's a little history there. Josh is paying it back, and then the host of our thing, I was like, well, there's nothing I can say about that. That looked pretty straightforward. Chastain and Suarez. Let's talk about that one. We got a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm watching this play out in turn 11. Chastain and Suarez are battling in the braking zone. There was a car in front of them, 22 Logano. Neither one of them are in position to try to outbrake Logano into the corner. Chastain's got a run on Suarez out of 10. Suarez knows it. Chastain moves right to try to outbrake the 99. The 99 then pulls in front of him to block that move.
You block.
You block.
You pay.
You pay. And while Chastain is the one, while Chastain's the one who f***ed up here, he made a mistake. You can see the rear tires lock up right there, and he's like, "I can't get it stopped. We're going in this car. I'm going to hit you. I'm sorry. This is what happens." So Chastain f***ed up. Let's get that clear. But if the 99 doesn't block, he doesn't get run over. More than likely, he can battle around the outside and beat. And maintain and hold the spot through the front straightaway, the bend to the left through the front straightaway, and Chastain doesn't get by. But
is this a bigger deal because it's Chastain and then it's Suarez is leaving?
This is an absolute bigger deal because it's teammates, and Suarez has
not
been
the best spot.
Suarez has been very professional.
He has been
so far publicly, and he's probably sitting here going, "All right, now this is I'm gonna have to handle this." And so that's the crux of the situation, I think, is, Ross would probably you would probably have Ross immediately say, "Look, that was my fault, man. I f***ed up. I couldn't get the car stopped. I was going to try to get in the corner deeper, and you jumped in front of me, and I was overcommitted, and I hit you. I'm sorry." And that should be enough, I think. But considering that Suarez,
the situation,
there's some Suarez is out of this job. He's feeling less than, unwanted, rejected. Right? He's been able to sort of control those frustrations around that feeling to a point, and this kind of stuff right here might make it a little personal. And I don't know really like what opportunities he's got, right? In Cup, to stay in Cup. What openings are there? Where would he go? That would be like a, hell yeah, this is just as good. A lateral move at least, right? There's nowhere he's going to go.
I don't think there's a lateral.
There's nothing, right? And so he may be hopeful, and look, I could be wrong, and something could open up, and somebody might go, yeah, man, we'll take this. But I don't believe there is a move where you could go, man, he's stepping into something better.
Does he have sponsorship?
He has support, sponsorship. Support.
Well, that matters.
He has some funding.
But the people that have equal or better cars also have support and money.
I just don't see an opening where Suarez can go and you go, that's as good
right now.
That's as good or better. And I think as he starts to see that, the lack of paths forward or the lack of opportunity, that too is going to add to the frustration of things like this happening. Being, look, hey, man, if I'm Suarez, you're kind of sitting there looking at Chastain, those guys going, man, my feelings are hurt because of this situation, but I do want this to end well. Let's all work together and let's try to have a reasonable finish to this season. I want to be a good teammate. I want this to end on good terms. And then, you get knocked out and spun out in the corner. This is absolutely Chastain's fault. He
100%,
made the mistake, 100%, and he would own it. But I know it ain't intentional. You can see him busting his ass right there. He's losing the rear tires lock up, and he starts to spin the car out. And
I don't think he's close enough to make the pass anyway. There,
he wasn't. But he wasn't, and I think Suarez. The only other thing Suarez could have done was recognize the one ain't close enough to make the pass. Let him go in there and get on my right rear quarter panel. I'm going to roll around the top of 11 and beat him out, beat him down the next straightaway. And I've got the inside bend advantage through turns, through the front straightaway into turn 1.
His momentum off of 11 should have cleared him.
Clear him, yeah. And I'm going to, and then I could get out and I would get in the then I could go to the competition meeting and I would look at this and go, damn, Chastain, what are you doing? You're not, you can't pass me there because I showed you that, I was going to hold you off. You just cost me and you 3-4 car lengths to the 22. Why are you trying to pass me there? You're not in position to do it.
Yeah. There's two wrongs here.
Yeah.
There's definitely two wrongs, and it didn't add up.
Chastain, just a kind of a mistake there. But I think the reason why we're having the conversation around this is because we have to, we're going to have to monitor the Daniel Suarez situation, right? Where does he end up? What are his chances and options? And, can he control his emotions?
Yeah, like we saw teammates with JGR on Sunday get into each other.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a deal because they're both going to be teammates going forward and they messed up.
Yeah. That's right. So I'll monitor, I'll pay attention and watch this because can Daniel keep it cool, keep it professional? Can he get over this little up here by his teammate and say, all right, man, we're going to try to end this amicably. What's the word? Amicably.
Yes.
We're going to try to end this the right way.
Suarez is still trying to find a win and sneak into the playoffs.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that too.
You're in Daniel's situation. How do you drive? Does this make somebody in
Daniel
his situation?
says if they don't have a conversation, which they will, they'll talk this out.
They will.
Daniel's the kind of guy, though, that he'll get your ass back.
But does this affect him if they don't?
Daniel's physical.
In
and out of the car.
Yeah, he put McDowell on a hood.
Yeah, he did. McDowell's a big boy.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Put him on the hood.
In your opinion, how does Daniel drive now? Does he drive he's trying to find a ride and is it possible to try too hard and get yourself in more trouble right now?
Yes. That's why we're going to watch. We're going to watch to see what he does. Does he drive harder? Does he make mistakes? Does he push people around?
Is this a time to get smarter?
Does he just does he fade under the rug and disappear? What happens, right?
Yeah.
It's he's a cast in a play that has a curious role
and a limited number of roles.
And who knows where he ends up if he's even part of the cast next year, right?
What do you think the best approach from it would be? Is just
What?
Do you think he needs to be more aggressive here? Do you think he needs to just piece finishes together? Or
I mean, that's like, no, I mean, I think he has to be more aggressive. Yeah, I do.
Don't get pushed around.
Put those elbows out a little more.
And you cannot tell a race car driver to try harder. They're all at the limit.
Yeah, no, I always liked that. Hey man, need a little more from you today.
But yeah, I think he needs to put his foot down.
He needs to have an edge to him.
Have a little edge to him, which he does.
He does a little bit.
He can get lost. You can lose him in the story, right?
Sometimes he comes across as like the nice guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
It just fades a little bit at times.
I mean, he's how do you say it? I mean, listen, this is true for lots of drivers in the series. You got to be careful not to get lost, right, in the story. Every race is an opportunity to stand out, and you got to stand out. And it's harder to stand out. It's harder to be the story in a good way, right? You don't ever want to be the story.
Well, how do you stand out if you're not dominating the race?
Right. I mean, you gotta find ways to stand out.
Do you ruffle feathers? You
just gotta stand out. I don't know what that is or what that really means, but I think the problem. One thing you got to be careful of is being forgettable. There's drivers in the field that when you say their name, they elicit no response. Right? I could say some names from drivers in the field to you, to fans, to anyone in this room, and you would be like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. That does nothing for me. Right? That's what you got to be careful of, because when you become, it's kind of like falling in the friend zone with the girl, right? You can't let that happen. You can't become you can't become forgettable. You can't become unremarkable. And if you just out there, I think a lot of drivers find themselves in a tough situation with a car that doesn't do what it needs to do, and they just go through the motions. They're trying hard. They're working their ass off. They're seeing no results, and they continue to do that week in and week out. And it's hard to stand out in that sort of scenario. It's hard to shine.
Especially at like his position. He's got SVG there. He's got Chastain.
Yes, but you know what? Like Ty Dillon is refusing to be unremarkable. Right?
He is now.
He is.
He's taking advantage of this bracket.
He's taking advantage of an opportunity to be memorable and to be more than a filler. And so there's other drivers too. So there's, I guess, one way to sort of shine or be noticed or be remarkable for a driver who's maybe in a car that's a 20th or 25th place car. Not that the 99 is that. I'm just saying when you're in a car that won't do the things you need it to do, so that a car that you can't put at the front of the field, you got to take a car that lots of people in the industry know isn't great, and at least make it a 15th place car or a 10th place car. And then I and you, we can all come in here and bull all week long about that guy makes this car better. Kurt Busch would get in bad make it run better.
And you saw it.
Yep. There's drivers that would get in cars and make them run faster. Ricky Rudd. Everywhere Ricky Rudd went, Ricky Rudd was not a dominant driver in NASCAR. But you know why Ricky Rudd continued to thrive and have people admired him, people were fans of his? Because he was tenacious, and he never let anybody push him around. And he always took the Wood brothers and made that car a competitive race car when it hadn't been that competitive. He would get in cars and they ran. He took the 29 Quaker State car and made that a winning car. Everything that he got better, and he was a big reason for that. Hell, he helped turn Richard Childress's program into a winning program that Dad would take over and become, synonymous with, right? And so Ricky Rudd played a major role in helping that team develop into what it could be once Dad got behind the wheel. And so, that's how you kind of stand out. If you can't stand out, man, it's hard. It's hard to market. It's hard to drum up interest and excitement around you. It's hard to weave you into the storyline on Sunday. It's hard to get excited about talking about you and get fans excited about hearing about you. So there it is. That's why he's here.
And then there's that paranoia. It's like, are they giving me everything I need in my car?
Oh, you got to be ready for that. They ain't. But Kurt Busch, Ricky Rudd, those type of guys didn't fall on top of that excuse, right?
That can't be the excuse.
That can't be the excuse. You gotta. If you feel like that's what's happening, go to the shop, get your guys, get with your crew chief, rally around. Look,
you don't want to play that card.
Even if I am getting the number 7 engine, even if I am getting, even if there are some changes among crew members and I lose a really good right front changer, right? And I know that I'm getting the third best guy or the fourth best. You got to still take those pieces and go forward and still achieve, right? Whether you've got one shelf or a whole wall dedicated to NASCAR diecast, there's always room for more. And nobody brings the excitement to the track and to your collection like Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. From the legendary rides like the number 3 Goodwrench car to the paint schemes of today's hottest stars like Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain, Lionel Racing diecast are built for true fans. Every car is authentically detailed, and most are available in both 124 and 164 scales. Whether you're after race wins, special finishes, autographed pieces, or the elite premier editions, Lionel has you covered. And right now, for a limited time, fans of the Dale Jr. Download can get free U.S. shipping on their next order at LionelRacing.com. Just use the promo code DJD25. That's promo code DJD25 at LionelRacing.com. How about Larson? So that's a conversation too, and everybody's careful about everybody's a little careful about this one.
I know what you're saying,
because Larson is Larson's in the conversation even today still as one of the most talented race car drivers in the world, right?
Yeah.
And he hasn't had a reasonable result or a Larson-style performance since Indy. And maybe coincidental, right? But he's had a couple of top 5s or had a couple reasonable runs, but he's just we're used to seeing Larson every third race at least running in the top 2, top 3, battling for the win.
Leading laps
35, 13, 17, 7, 36, 5, 8, 1. Those are his last.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any problem with them, but it's not Larson-ish to have that many. But
so I mean, I just feel I just wonder if is it simply the quirkiness of the schedule at this point in the summer? Because that is absolutely a thing. You're right. We get into some road courses and some weird tracks, Pocono, and you can't find a rhythm, and you just can't. If they're they're
and you get caught up in a wreck that's not your fault on one of the races.
Yeah.
I just think it's coincidence, man. I mean, he's won this race before.
Listen, I know that's why nobody's wanting to talk about it, because everybody, myself included, thinks he goes to Dover and runs first, second, or third.
If you told me right now that he won Dover, see the future, I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised.
And if he does, I would still look back since May and say, damn, I thought he should have been there. I thought he should have been running up front this weekend.
Could it be as simple as they kind of just missed the setup? with the tires.
I feel like that they're a bit off. I feel like they're a little bit off. That's it. I feel like they're a little bit off.
But I think you have a really high standard for that car too.
I
so
do.
A little bit off is a fifth place.
But they had that standard.
Yeah, they've set it.
They have that standard for themselves. Do you think they went to the race this weekend and went, yeah, we ran like we should have?
No, I think they went there trying to win the race like everyone. But they've won so much that the standard is
high,
expected
like
that.
I know, it is.
But I don't see any problem with. I don't see a problem with it. He's been caught up in a couple things that probably weren't his fault.
I mean, look at past years, how many DNFs this is Kyle Larson.
He does.
Kind of a checkers or wreckers.
Yes. Yeah. He does make a lot of mistakes like that. But
he's running really good at Charlotte and busted his ass.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. And, I think that he probably wouldn't admit this and he'd probably say I'm wrong. But I think that, he went and tried to run Indy and he said, I got no interest in chasing the double again. I feel like maybe that he might think that
that month of May in Indy,
he might think that all the that it requires to do all that sort of has taken his focus away from his Sunday, and he's like, you know what, it's just not worth it.
That month of May in Indy is a long month.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, I commend him for even doing it twice, trying it.
Well, it feels like to me that it sort of derailed their momentum, and it derailed it at a time where the schedule is challenging.
Sure,
like you don't need any hiccups, right? And it's created a bit of a stretch where they just haven't looked like themselves.
Yeah,
All right, we got our winner of Sunday's race in Sonoma.
This guy's he's a regular here now.
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane, it's good to see you. It's been a hell of a few weeks for you. And, you still have a lot of racing left this year. I know you're probably excited about Watkins Glen out there in front, but I bet you're even more excited to actually get back to some ovals where you can continue to hone that skill. We got a tough one coming up this weekend with Dover Concrete. I had some pretty good success there, but also some of the most frustrating days trying to get a hold of that racetrack. What's your expectation this weekend? What's your feelings around Dover, because it is such a unique place, high banked 1 mile concrete oval, really fast, but hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, well, firstly, you're right. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. It's been a nice break doing all these road courses. But yeah, Dover should be good. I struggled there last year. I remember all us caller guys were battling for 20th. We were all battling with our cars, but I had fun. It was an epic track. It was it's just amazing how fast you can go into that corner. It feels like you're dropping, and then all of a sudden you're just loading up on the banking. The load around that track and how much grip it has is mind-blowing. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward to Indy, too. I ran well there in Xfinity last year. It was a really fun track. Although it was a restrictor plate, it would be a bit different this year. But, yeah, just looking forward to continuing learning, getting back into the challenge, and, trying to get better.
So, I guess, what is the biggest challenge for you? I know I've talked to you before about this, and one of the things that you mentioned to me was in practice, you're seeing some of these racetracks for the first time, or you're seeing some of these racetracks for the first time with the next gen, and you get a very limited amount of practice, and you fire off really exploring the racetrack. I know that's probably still something you're working on, trying to, hit the racetrack and just be quicker once you're out on the track. But, what are some of the other details around oval racing? We've seen this time and time again when, like Marcus Ambrose would come into our series, or even guys from IndyCar might come, or Juan Pablo Montoya from F1. The way you drive a car at an oval is just different. The techniques and even the braking and everything is so different at an oval. Can you articulate, I guess, what are some of the methods that we, oval racers do that have been hard for you to kind of pick up or adjust to?
Well, firstly, probably Dover is, practice will start, and Bristol was sort of the same. Practice will start, and it'll be just on the bottom, and you'll be running your line as fast as you can, and, doing the qualifying line, just going hammer and tong. But, yeah, as you said, for me, by the time I get up to speed, the peak of the tire's gone, and then you're just trying to learn. But then when you get in the race, all of a sudden the track rubbers up, and it's very graphic to me on concrete. It rubbers up so much, and then all of a sudden the line moves and you're doing a different line to what you've done before. And this tire, it hates itself. Like when the rubber goes down, the rubber's bad. And any other series in the world, the rubber's good. You're trying to be on the rubber to get the grip, and it's amazing how the track will move up. The line will move up where the grip will be and where the cush is. It's like a dirt track, and then you're watching this track just change color, and you're trying to find light spots for grip, and then the yellow comes out, and I don't know what it is, or whether the new tires pick up the rubber, the track just changes color and the cycle starts again. It's it's amazing. There's no other series I've ever been a part of that does it. How variable the grip is and the track, and it's not just one line the whole time. The line's always changing. You're always trying to find somewhere to find that speed,
Absolutely. That's a great way to explain what I think happens at all ovals. I always thought that this was something that was more pronounced at the concrete tracks, only because we could literally visually see the rubber get put down, then the rubber be removed from the track, and that cycle begin again at the next restart. But as I got older, I thought, I bet this is happening at even the asphalt tracks. We just aren't able to see the optics of it because of the color of the surface of the racetrack. And so like at a Charlotte or at a place like Kansas, I bet the same thing is going on. It's just harder for you to kind of find where that fresher or less rubbered up asphalt is because of the color of the surface. But
it even happened at Sonoma. Like I could exit turn 11 on the inside where there's no rubber and there was more grip there. It's odd. Yeah, this tire is whatever it is. It's just weird. I think it's right. The tire hates itself. So you're always trying to find the cleanness of the road for the grip. And yeah, it's hard to see on a normal oval, but you can feel it. But on concrete, you can look around the corner and try and aim for a lighter spot. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, absolutely. The past weekend, we saw you and Connor Zilic have another epic battle in the Xfinity race, and I was kind of interested to chat with you a little bit about it. Post-race, you come up on the podium for Victory Lane and gave Connor a hard time, but it was a good exchange, and I think you two are developing. You already had pretty heavy respect for each other. I think now you're starting to develop a friendship, but a real nice, a nice kind of exchange between you two guys post race was good to see. The how much of a break did you cut the guy? If it's somebody else that's not a teammate, not a junior motorsports car, how do you change what your decisions are on that last lap?
Yeah, I raced him as a teammate rather than a friend, right? You try not to have friends, but you don't want to wreck your own team's cars. It's, if it wasn't a teammate, I probably wouldn't have gone down, or I wouldn't have gone down the outside at the last corner. That's never going to work. You're never going to drive around the outside of anyone, but, there's no other options, really. The other two options is you just follow him around the corner, or you drive into the back of him and push him wide and win the race. And even though that would be great, it wouldn't feel good, especially doing that to a teammate,
Yeah.
But if it was anyone else in the field, you'd probably highly consider giving them a little bump, So
right.
It definitely did change it. Like turn 7, I ran into the back of him when he blocked there, which was okay. We both couldn't stop. I pushed him wide, and I just waited for him, Like I could have gone and probably got in front before the S's, but I didn't want to do it like that, So we raced each other hard all day, and we were giving each other the thumbs up on the stage breaks and stuff. It was fun. It was proper hard racing, and at the start of each stage, we'd sort of be cruising and managing our stuff, and then you'd feel the intensity pick up. We'd be hanging it out, and then you couldn't see anyone in the mirror. Like, it was awesome, the speed advantage we had, and really, really fun.
Well, I want to ask, I know TJ's got a question for you, but I want to ask one real quick that kind of ties to that. When you came to race the first race at the Chicago Street Course, talking to some folks, even as the race is playing out, they're telling me, watch him, he's going to pass these people. He won't put a bumper on him. He won't touch them. He'll pass them completely clean. And that was. Now I know that there's contact in V8 Supercar. I know there's aggression in that series, but your I guess the way you were brought up as a racer was to do it as cleanly as possible. Now that you've been in NASCAR for a couple years, do you think you have to adapt? Do you think you need to change how you race the guys in NASCAR? Have you needed to become more aggressive? Think about that, that race at COTA, the first time you went to COTA and all hell broke loose down there in turn 1 on a late restart. And I think you came out of that, like, these guys are animals. I've never experienced anything like that. So have you had to, like, adjust what your etiquette is, what you're comfortable doing in those scenarios?
Yeah, yes and no. And then you learn other drivers, right? Like, that guy who did that at COTA, the 21 car, he'd do that every day, even to his grandma probably, but racing against Chase Briscoe on the weekend, he's someone I know is going to race me hard and push things to the limit, but he's not just going to spin me out for no reason. But, if the 77 was behind me on the last restart, I'm myself, so it's very specific who it is, and I like to race people with respect because most guys will do it back to you,
Yeah.
And that's the reputation you want to build I want to be known as hard and aggressive, but also fair, I don't want to be just hitting people for no reason, and I hope people race me back the same way.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was going to ask, is the etiquette the same? Because I don't know was the etiquette the same in the V8 Supercars? I feel like it's cleaner there than it would have been over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cleaner, but you have a judge, who's dishing out penalties, and
exactly.
We don't have that.
It was very inconsistent. You never know where you stood, and if you're in the mid pack and someone hit you, it wouldn't get seen, so they'd get away with it, and then when you go to pay them back, they might be seen and you get a penalty. So
yeah,
it was always a blurry line there. Whereas here, it's pretty cut and dry. You just.
What do you think's better?
You just can't put anyone in the grandstand, but you can do whatever else you like and get away with it.
What do you prefer?
I prefer this way, because you build more respect between your competitors and you just sort it out yourselves. But also, I understand we probably couldn't do it at home because you don't race enough and cars are more expensive. You don't have 5 cars in the shop waiting for you. You have the same car all year, so you probably couldn't race like that down there. But I think here it works very well and it polices itself very well.
Yeah, you and Scott had some great battles back in the day there. I mean, some great battles.
Yeah, that was, but they were all, there was nothing ever intentional there. He spun me out once on purpose at Eastern Creek, but the rest of them, the racing was really, really good.
Yeah, it was.
Man, you're always a fun interview, and it's awesome to be able to talk to you. Thanks for giving us a little time today. Know you got a busy week. Good luck in Dover. We'll see you at the racetrack.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, see you, buddy.
You bet. Hey, everybody, it's Junior, and we're here for another segment of Ask Junior, presented by Xfinity. Thank you, Xfinity Wi-Fi, for your booming speeds. We like booming speeds here in NASCAR, and choose the right plan for you, and you're off to the races with the best streaming service for NASCAR and all your favorite sports. They don't just raise the bar, they stream in overdrive. Xfinity does an incredible job around here in NASCAR and in our industry, and I've used their service myself and really appreciate it. Very dependable. So Andrew is here. He's got your questions teed up. Let's get going.
Yeah, this first one, Travis and I have been joking. We've been meaning to ask this question for like weeks and weeks and weeks, but I actually ran into someone in the gift shop after one of the beer toasts because they got to listen in through the viewing area. Yeah. And they heard you had a story about an estate sale find, and they could hear, but they couldn't really hear, but I hear it's a good story.
Well, a friend of mine who is into sort of, tracking the estate sales in the area showed me that there was an estate sale local that had a Ralph Earnhardt autograph.
Oh.
And there were some other autographs as well in this sort of package. You could buy the thing, all of it together. And I don't know what a Ralph Earnhardt autograph would be valued at, but it was, he passed away in 73. I would say this autograph was probably from anywhere from 69 to 73, right before his death. The car on the picture that is autographed is a Camaro, which I think he raced in 71, 72 maybe, at Metrolina and Concord. And so I was like, shoot, man, there's not many Ralph Earnhardt autographs out there. There aren't. And I already have one or two Ralph Earnhardt autographs that I've collected over the years. And so I went in and made some bids and got it.
Dang.
And I got it for a really good price, I thought.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did you just stumble upon it, or you were like
my
looking
friend?
For it? Oh, your friend. Sorry. You're right. Yeah.
If you were listening,
I was
maybe 2 minutes ago. My friend pointed me in the direction of this estate sale. He follows all these, and he goes, "Hey, man, this estate has your grandfather's autograph." And I was like, "I'm bidding on it. Don't bid on it. I'm going to bid on it. Let's not bid together in battle." And so, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, there was other autographs in this, like maybe a Fireball Roberts and a couple other cool ones. And I got it at a really good price, like $200.
Was he really going to outbid you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, if he didn't know I was bidding, let's not.
I say, yeah.
Let's not accidentally get in the bidding war unknowingly.
You never want the price to go up, but a bidding war,
Why is it so hard to follow?
Yeah.
The rush of a bidding war is fun, though.
I do like a bidding war, I guess,
to
a point.
When to get it in there.
To a point.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, do I really want this? Yeah, I get into that situation on eBay all the time on custom die casts.
Oh.
I'm going to list while I'm here. So this is so much easier just to do it right now. So I collect custom die casts of my dad. All right. And here are the custom die casts. People do a variety of Earnhardt Senior customs.
And there's some really good ones.
Here's the ones that I've not seen or would buy.
Oh.
If they were to be built.
Let's put it out there. Yeah.
He ran a number 98 car in the Sportsman 300 race at Charlotte in 1978. I have not seen that car. The 98 that he raced at Atlanta in the Cup race for Osterlin in 78 at the back end of the year, I do have. This is basically the exact same car minus the Winston Cup NASCAR decal on the fender. It's literally, I think it's actually the same car that he raced in this Sportsman race that he would then go to run in Atlanta in the Cup race later that year. I need the 1978 Charlotte 300 version of the number 98. That's one car I don't have. I've never seen the 1979 Daytona 500 Buick. There's the Monte Carlo, there's the Oldsmobile 442, but the 1979 rookie Daytona 500 Buick, I don't think has ever been reproduced. I don't even know if there's a Buick mold for that car to be made. I would like a plain rookie number 2 Monte Carlo. Typically, his number 2 Monte Carlo, if you built by the production model, it has Mike Kerr Productions or sponsors on it.
Just blank. Yeah.
I think I would love to get like the win version of his Bristol rookie race.
Yeah.
That would be cool. A number 80, number 2, a championship winning number 2, just like this car here without the Wrangler on it. So
got it.
Basically the same thing as the rookie car, but the 1980 version of the Monte Carlo. Some of these are in, I know I can buy one or two of these that are production made. I want a custom version. I like the customs. because everything's where it's supposed to be. All the decals are perfect.
Because they take a lot of time to.
A 1981 and a 1981 number 2 and number 3 Pontiac, not the bank version. I want a custom one of those. The ones they created, I don't really love the build on it, and so I'd love somebody to make a custom version of the Pontiac from 1981, number 2 and number 3 car that he drove. The Blue Goose from 1984. A 1985 Monte Carlo, no slope back. 1986, 1987 slope back Monte Carlo. And then the 1989 Lumina and beyond are some of the cars I need to collect too as well. So I have this big collection.
That is,
right? But those are a couple of the cars that I've yet to actually add to my collection. And now I can get the production models. I know this. And I say that because people will go, well, here's the production version you can buy.
Right.
But I love the personal take on the custom. So there's a lot of great people out there in eBay and probably other places as well that do some really, really great work on the custom side. And so I made that list the other day. I was standing there in front of my collection going, I'd like that. I don't have that because I want to fill in the gaps.
Well, this is a great place to put it out.
The last car that I bought to add to my Dale Earnhardt custom collection is a number 87 green car that Dad drove. It's a Pontiac that he drove at Dover. Coincidentally, we're going to Dover. So I think Greg Sachs or Buddy Baker or somebody, it was Buddy Baker owned Busch car. And Greg Sachs was the driver, and I think Greg had got hurt. And Buddy called Dad and said, hey, can you help? And Dad went and drove the car. It was a Pontiac, number 87, and he run fourth. Qualified fourth, run third, qualified third, run fourth, something like that. He drove the same car at Daytona in the 300, and it was green Pontiac, and it had a number 3 on it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if anyone out there knows of those custom die-casts,
you know what?
I
know some of the custom builders are listening.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And if they're not listening live,
and instead of emailing or messaging them separately, I just like, here it is, pal.
One big group message.
Yeah.
I like it. This next question, and this is the account's name. Not today, I won't. That's the name of the account. They want to know, do you have a favorite Adam Petty or Davey Allison story?
Yeah, my Davey, I don't really have a Davey Allison. Well, I think I told this one back when we had Brad Means, my friend Jimmy Means' son, on as a guest. We hid Davey Allison's jacket in the return of the HVAC. So we were hanging out in the driver's lounge at North Wilkesboro, being kids, just goofing off. Davey Allison come in there to use the bathroom. He took his jacket off and laid it on the couch or something, right? Just threw it over the back of the couch, and he goes into the bathroom. We took his jacket and hid it in the return. And then when he came out, he's like, we're just hanging out, me and Brad and a couple other guys, and we're like 12, 14 years old, and we're just kind of, what's up, Davey? And he's looking around. Man, I had a jacket. And he's like, where is it? And we're all like, damn it. We didn't have a plan for this part. And so one of us, probably me, had to go over to the return and get it out. And then he was like, damn it, this thing's dirty. He wasn't too mad. And the other thing I'll say is when Kelly was young, she had a crush on Davey. Yeah, she did. And I used to always pick on her because when she would get around Davey, she would get all giggly. And then with Adam, one of my Adam and I we got to talk a lot. The brief time that I got to race around him, when he gets up to Xfinity Series and so forth, we were at South Boston, and for some reason, I don't know how this happened, but I needed shoes. I can't imagine that I forgot my shoes or lost them.
I've been there.
But I needed some racing shoes, and I just happened to run into Adam, and I was like, "Man, what size shoe are you? I need some shoes. Do you have a pair of shoes?" And he's like, "I'm a size 11." It's like, perfect. I was like, he's like, "I got an extra pair," and he brought me a pair of red shoes that that were perfect. So, I raced in those, and I won the race.
Oh,
at South Boston.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so I think it was '99 was the year.
Yeah,
in the Xfinity or the Busch Series, and so I just stuck them in my closet when I lived across the street from DEI. And when we did, I think MTV Cribs, if you watch that episode of Cribs, we go into my closet and I take those shoes down and I show them shoes to you.
Dang.
In that episode.
So did he let you keep them then?
Oh, I kept them. Yeah. They were. I don't think they were brand new. I think they were used. So like he had drove in them, and then I put them on, and I raced in them, and I wore them just that weekend.
I'm sure they were his backups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have them?
I'm certain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This next question is from Daniel. You know, we were on a roll last week talking about the Josh Snyder stories and picking TJ up from Buffalo. They want to know, TJ, was there any prank that you wanted to pull on Dale but never did?
There's a lot of pranks that didn't get done.
Have y'all seen this clip on social media about the Kicks Brooks and Dunn?
We do have a question about that.
Good Lord, that's awesome.
Well, I mean, speaking of pranks,
yeah, that was.
I don't think TJ has a great answer. So
there's a couple, but I don't want to give them
away.
What
are they?
Well, we were going to put a Jolly Rancher in your shower head. That was one.
What would that even do?
It
just get you sticky all over?
Yeah, for a while until it goes away.
Okay, and then you take it out and take a shower. 15
you don't
minutes
know
of
what's
fun.
in there.
Yeah, but you wouldn't.
You don't know what's in there.
Yeah,
I feel like how many showers do you think it would take for you to realize?
I wonder if that really works.
One way to find out.
Yeah.
But tell this is bad. Like, this is rough.
So you can go look at it. I mean, and most people that are watching this probably may have already seen it. But Brooks, I think Marty McGee, had a conversation with Brooks and Dunn, and Kicks Brooks. Both of them, I think, are on the boat. They're fishing out in the ocean. They got their wives. It's a big deal. Dad had probably about a 50-foot boat or something that he takes out there, and they're fishing. And Kicks Brooks is telling the story about how Kicks is tired of fishing. They've caught a lot of fish. He's just like, I'm ready to drink some beer. I'm done. But they hooked a sailfish, and Dad's like, get your ass out of here. And they reel it in, and Dad's all excited. It's a pretty cool story. And then they bring the fish in, take photos, do all the stuff, and then for some reason they're throwing a bunch of chum.
Yeah, they were chumming the water.
Into the water, and Dad's like, Kicks, come over here and look at these turtles. And Kicks is like, oh yeah, I do want to see the turtles. And gets over to the rail, and Dad grabs him by his pants and throws him into the chum, and then tells the Captain Terry, who I remember Captain Terry, all right, drive away. And they drove away with Kicks' wife going, what are we doing? And Kicks is in there like trying not to splash. He's just like, don't move.
Because there's blood in the water.
Yes.
I think he said it was shark infested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they drove away.
So
drove away.
I know.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Like, what if something really did happen?
I know.
Holy
what if Brooks and Dunn?
yeah.
Brooks and Dunn.
Damn. Like, that's
serious.
That's not a prank. That's
some bull.
Mean.
Yeah,
That's some bull, Dad. I mean, if that story is absolutely true as told, I would be furious.
James goes attempted murder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't went that far. That's pretty.
And he said the boat got far enough away to where like you could barely see it, and then it became funny to turn around.
He's embellishing
the fishing
some.
story's getting a little.
Yes, right. I mean, let's be serious here. It's still a criminal offense, but you know, I remember one time there was an individual that was a tire. He was the tire changer. He was a very good tire changer. Dad's team had just hired him to change tires on the Xfinity car. This was in the early 90s. And his nickname was Yankee. Scott Kaluka was his name. Awesome guy. And he would eventually become a tire changer on the Cup car. But I remember his path to becoming the changer on the Xfinity car, earning everybody's respect, getting called up, like a Major League Baseball guy to the Cup team, and how big a deal that was, and how much better Dad's team got on pit road because of it. But when he first came, he was really a smart ass. And young guy around Tony Sr., Dad, all these gruffy old veterans that knew everything, and he come in there running his mouth and being a smart ass. And I remember, I don't know how this happened, but Dad was in the parking lot shooting his bow and arrow, his compound bow for deer hunting. And at some point, Kaluka showed up, and he's being his smart ass self and said something, and Dad's like, whatever Dad said or did, Scott turned and took off running across the parking lot, and Dad fired an arrow about 8 foot over his head.
Oh my God.
And and Dad told him he was going to shoot at him. And so,
well, it's okay then.
Yeah. That's the details are sketchy, a little fuzzy. And then there was another time where there was a guy, the carpenter, his name's Todd. And Todd's an amazing carpenter, longtime employee at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and Dad loved him. And Todd built Dad's log cabin single-handedly.
Jesus.
I went in there and helped him a little bit with some stuff in some of the closets and did a little work, but that guy was down there every day building that thing on his own.
He had a woodworking shop there, didn't he?
He eventually would end up getting a woodworking shop in DEI.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a main figure, and Dad leaned on him, and he's still around. I still talk to him. He loved Fords. Dad didn't love Fords. We were Chevy people. But Todd wanted to street stock race. He had raced some street stock stuff in his past, and just coincidentally, me and Carrie are building a street stock, and so right out at the Deerhead shop, that was really the only thing around in the property back then, was the Deerhead shop. The garage mahal wasn't built yet. We would get our street stocks out of the barn. Todd had a Ford Thunderbird, big box, the 83, 84 Ford Thunderbird. And I had, me and Carrie had a little Monte Carlo, 78 Monte Carlo. And we pulled them street stocks over there, and we'd start working on them. We're getting them ready. We're building them. We're not racing them yet. Todd's in his car, tacking in the firewall for the back. So big old sheet of tin, he's tacking it into the back of this car, covering up all the holes in the back of the car. And he's in the interior. And Dad had been out on his farm, and he walked around with a 6-shooter on his hip. So he had a pistol on his hip at all times when he was out on his farm. And so it's probably 5 o'clock. Everybody's starting to converge on the Deerhead shop. There's going to be beer drinking and pizza and bull. Mm-hmm. The Tony Sr. and them been working on the Xfinity cars for Jeff Green or somebody, whoever was driving the cars at the time. And so we get our street stocks out. It's after 5 o'clock, and we can work on them. And Todd's working on his, and I'm working on mine with Carrie. And Dad walks by, and we're building the cars. Dad walks by, pulls his gun, shoots a hole through the quarter panel of this Ford. The bullet goes through the quarter panel and through the fuel cell. And it scares the shit out of all of us.
As it should.
Yeah. And Dad says, you got to get a racing fuel cell. So now you can't, he's like, it's dangerous to run this stock fuel cell, and I've now fired a hole in it, so you can't use it. I want you to put a good fuel cell in these cars so you guys don't get burned up, And
safety first.
Yeah, safety first.
Brilliant.
It was loud.
Well, yeah, it's a gunshot.
Yeah. Just shot at it.
Just shot a hole right through the quarter panel. And so Todd raced that car with a bullet hole in the quarter panel.
That's badass.
It was awesome.
That is badass.
I raced that Ford once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was, a year after this, I moved on and was racing my late model stock car with Gary Hargett down in Myrtle Beach. We had an off weekend. I was up at the farm shop, like a Friday. And Todd's messing around, and I'm like, you going street stock racing this weekend? He's like, nah, I don't feel like it. I'm like, can I take your car? He's like, I was like, you can't believe you're not going to go. He's like, yeah, you can take it. And so I loaded it up, and I take it, and I'm practicing, and it's pretty simple to drive. And we all drew for position. We didn't even qualify. And Kelly's in the race. Kelly's in our old car. She's driving this old tore-up Monte Carlo. Me and Carrie's destroyed. Kevin Pinnell, 2-beer, he's in the race. He starts in front of me, 2-beer.
Yeah.
2-beer drove a purple Nova, number 4. Purple with a white 4 on it. Green flag, 2-beer missed a shift, and I knocked the radiator out of this Ford.
Jeez.
First damn thing. Like, I didn't even get to run the race. Todd ran really good in it. Todd would run top 3. And it drove.
So you were looking forward to it.
It drove really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, here we go. And damn, got the green flag, and 2-beer didn't go. And I just drove through him.
You just weren't meant to drive a Ford.
Yeah.
Right.
2-beer had that damn shifting problem we sometimes see in the cars tour on a restart.
What was Todd's reaction to you busting up the radiator?
He was kind of over it at that point. Yeah, he was kind of moving on.
Did you fix it?
I don't know if we probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love those stories.
We were putting a radiator in. We were taking our radiators to Alton Boyd's. Alton Boyd's.
Yep.
Whose Tab is his son, the spotter that was recently in the news. Well, his dad owned a radiator shop in Kannapolis, and that's where we always take our radiators back in the 90s that we raced our street stock cars. Dude, we had the radiator. Me and Carrie would take the radiator out of our Monte Carlo every week, having to fix a hole in that son because we knocked the damn nose off of that car every race. Me and Carrie tore that Monte Carlo all to hell. And then, I mean, the front horns on it were bent left and right so many times and pulled straight. And then, the radiator was all gobbled up with like welding and glue and all kinds of patchwork. We're like, Alton's like, yeah, I can fix it. All right, keep fixing it. All right, I can fix it. I mean, we're waiting on him to tell us, like, all right.
You need a new one.
Yeah, you need a new one. And then Kelly was forced to drive this thing. Like, when she wanted to start racing, they were like, all right, you get to drive the Monte Carlo. And there's pictures of her driving her first race, and this thing looks like it has been through a war zone. That Monte Carlo is still sitting on the property over at DEI.
Wow.
Out by a farm, out by a shop, I believe. I wonder if there's some Google Earth shots or something of it sitting beside the
so it's like outside?
It's outside, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I'd love to have that car, but,
What kind of condition do you think it's in?
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. Already to begin with, and then you leave it outside.
it's in the condition it deserves to be in, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't restore it or anything. You just love to have it because it's like me and Carrie learned everything about trying to get around a corner in that very car. That was like the real first race car we raced. Man, we would burn up we took that car, we built it, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we rebuilt it had like a 283, not even a really great motor in it. We rebuilt that motor, blew that motor up the first race, and had to build another motor. We would burn the wheel bearings up every week. We didn't know why. Dad wouldn't say, hey, you might want to get a spindle off of a Cadillac or something else that was a little beefier for the right front. And we would burn up the wheel bearings and go to the damn junkyard and climb under some old rat-infested, snake-infested car that had been sitting in this graveyard forever with our little tiny toolbox and get a damn spindle off of the car. And we'd pull springs. And we had a junkyard sponsorship.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And we'd get all this stuff, and we'd get ball joints or lowers and uppers because we're bending all this every week. And we'd go to the junkyard and get a replacement part and get another part, and we'd come back and, we'd fix it and put it together. And Dad was never there going, you might want to think about doing it this way, or you might want to do it this way. He wanted us to just screw up, right? And
to learn.
Figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And, man, it was fun.
That is cool.
Yep.
Oh, man, I love those stories. We'll have to see if we can find that Monte Carlo on, like you said, it'd be cool Google
if we could
Images.
See it on
Google Earth.
Google Earth or something.
Yeah. And maybe one day if you get it.
If you go to Google Earth at DEI, there's these chicken houses there's these 4 chicken houses that should still be there, I guess. And there's a couple of barns behind the chicken houses, and it's in that little complex. There's like 2 barns side by side, and that's where a lot of Dad's ski nautiques are in that barn. He won. You got a ski nautique every time you won Atlanta, and so you can. He's got like 6 or 7 ski nautiques.
Yeah,
and who knows what else.
Dang.
And then there's an open barn, like a hay barn, and so pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good place to wrap. Ash Jr.
Yeah.
By the way, Kix Brooks, I think, would be awesome if we could get him on the download.
We're going to.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
I mean, he's on our list.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, everybody, we would appreciate maybe some more ideas on some guests you guys would like to have on, like for us to have on the Dale Jr. Download. I know we get a lot of ideas from social media on what the biggest demand is, and so yeah. We're kind of open for some advice on who you'd like to see on the guest segment on Wednesday going forward that we haven't had on here, because we're kind of, we're eventually going to get to a point to where it's like, all right, we've had everyone now. We start having them on second, third, and fourth time. But who have we not had that you would like to see us interview? Otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, TJ. And the Ask Junior segment brought to you by Xfinity Wi-Fi. In racing and in life, speed isn't optional. It's expected. As a driver and Xfinity Series team owner, I rely on things that perform under pressure, and that's why I love to use Xfinity Wi-Fi. Fast, dependable, and one price locked in for 5 years. That's a first. I haven't heard that. No contracts, no slowdowns, no nonsense. Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. Best thing about Xfinity, and I've said this on here before, I like that one price locked in for 5 years.
That's awesome.
Because you'll be a customer, and all of a sudden they'll write you an email, and they'll be like, "We've boosted your speeds for no reason at all." Like they just randomly do that for customers. I know they're not singling me out. I'm kind of hidden down there along with the rest of the neighborhood, and so yeah, you're sitting there paying this price, and all of a sudden you just get more speed.
Yeah,
I love that.
Just because.
Just because.
Thanks for being a
Why
customer.
not?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Hey everybody, you want the latest Dale Jr. Download apparel? Visit shop.dirtymomedia.com. We're always adding new stuff all the time, especially like when we say something silly on this show. We'll put it on a t-shirt. Again, check it out at shop.dirtymomedia.com. All right, it's time for some Dirty Mo Dough. We got Russell here, and Tampa Tim's is back from Mexico.
Hey, about time.
Hola.
This Dirty Mo Dough,
amigo.
This Dirty Mo Dough segment is brought to you by FanDuel.
They kick ass.
They do kick ass. Dude.
Some hardest you ever said, FanDuel.
I'm telling you, FanDuel. I love FanDuel. So I have been wanting to make some bets, and it's just not top of mind. What do I do?
It's that summertime. It's that
I
lull.
know.
It is. It's summer.
We're getting very close. We're going to have some future bets being made here in like the next 30 days.
Oh.
So
What sport is right around the corner?
college football.
College football.
Like 40,
colleges,
like
yeah.
40 days
40
away.
days.
Something like that.
All right. I still have the big advantage that I gained when we coincidentally went on a trip to Key West, us three, and all that good fortune I had with the college basketball, still sitting on it. I ain't bet none of it.
Same.
Good.
Yeah,
Roll
I haven't
over.
made much bets this summer.
It's a good thing you can't bet NASCAR because your manufacturer parlays suck.
Man, this is embarrassing.
This one was bad.
Last
How
week
bad
was
was last
bad.
week?
So our manufacturer parlay.
What's a Farkshire?
Manufacturer parlay. That's a big word, dude. You say it.
Manufacturer parlay?
Manufacturer parlay. Reddick. Was he the third Toyota? Yeah, he didn't run that great. Busher, the fifth Ford. What's up with that?
Something happened.
He got shipped off at the end.
McDowell, the third Chevy.
McDowell wasn't strong.
Man.
As strong as I thought he was going to be.
We got to turn this around.
We do.
All right?
Time to start throwing some darts.
No, we've been throwing darts, apparently.
How'd you guys not pick SVG last week?
We said on the show that beat McDowell for the odds, but I think we
Okay.
also, like, we didn't say it, but
we
we
need
also
to fucking.
Yeah.
We're not doing this right.
No.
We are.
SVG was a layup for
Making
Chevy.
making ourselves look like
you know
a bunch
You know what we're doing? We're not betting how you did with basketball.
We're not.
Your basketball parlays were money. Yeah.
Yes, they were. All right, so we're going to head to Dover. The favorites, according to Vegas, are Hamlin and Larson at plus 500, Blaney plus 700, Byron and Bell. Bell's at 1,000. What does the model look like, Russ?
Denny, Larson, Chase Elliott, Byron, Blaney, Bell. So where do you have Chase Elliott in the odds? Where were they?
He's plus 1,200 right now. That is, let's see, 6th.
I like him the best.
Yeah. He's not the favorite, though.
I don't think he's the favorite.
So who's your favorite this week?
Well,
hard to go against a Bell or Larson right now.
TJ, who does this track? Who does it favor? What were some drivers?
Larson, Bell, Blaney. Those guys are all really good here. I'm curious. The 19's been fast here, and I'm curious if Briscoe can carry that. He seems to be gaining a little momentum here lately. So I'm not saying he's going to be the top guy, but listen, I bet his odds are pretty good.
We're not going to overthink this, all right? Our parlay for the manufacturer this weekend:
Blaney, Bell,
Blaney, Larson,
Denny,
Bell.
Oh, really?
Oh, Jesus.
Bell.
Bell over Denny?
I'd say Denny.
Yeah, I got.
Y'all think Denny?
I think Denny's concrete king right now.
All right.
I know.
Going
That's
Denny.
what I think.
Listen, we're not overthinking it.
Well, Russ, what's the head-to-head show between those two?
Between
Bell and
Hamlin.
Denny.
It's going to be Denny.
All right. We're going Denny, Larson, Blaney.
Anybody worried about Larson's speed for last month or
We're
so?
not overthinking this.
No?
Can we do?
I'm just saying.
Listen.
I'm just saying he's kind of sucked.
Dude.
Can we do a long shot?
I'm with Russ. I like Chase Elliott a little better.
I don't
agree that Larson hasn't looked like himself. I do. But I still ain't seen enough out of Chase. He's been consistent.
What do you mean you haven't seen enough out of him?
I ain't seen enough.
Tell me what you see.
Has he finished outside the top 20 yet?
I see him second in fucking points.
I think Byron beats Chase Elliott this weekend,
Really?
much less Larson.
I was going to say Chase and Bowman are my top 200 guys this week.
Bowman's good.
Yeah.
The thing is like Bowman will be the second or third HMS car all day, but be the one that gets the result.
This is a Larson track.
He'll be the one that gets that 4th, 5th, 6th place finish. But if everything goes like it's supposed to, Larson should run top 2, top 3 in this race.
This is his type of track.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Larson, I'm not going to fall into this. Listen, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you, Tim's, that Larson has looked not good. Not good for a while since the beginning.
His average finish since the Indy 500 is 20th.
Yes. You can't argue that. And it is a problem. And no one's talking about it.
But 3 of them are road courses.
I agree with that.
You got some oddballs in there.
That's
so
the
it's
argument.
not fair.
Yeah. That's the argument is that this is quirky part of the season where the chase, chasing the double knocked him off his game, derailed their focus or just got them off their rhythm, right?
Yeah.
And the schedule hasn't allowed them to reestablish. And here's the weekend where you believe that they mashed the button.
Okay.
And he's right back where he belongs. And I'm going to buy into that idea. I'm not, you can't, as much as I want to think, man, everything's telling me that Larson continues to struggle. Everything's telling me that he goes here and runs ninth all day. Everything's telling me that, but I don't want to be the fool sitting on the island because, everyone else, no one else is wanting to say this. No one else is wanting to say that Larson's going to go run 10th and just be normal. Because at the end of the day, when he runs 2nd, 3rd, or 4th or wins the race, they're going to go, you talk.
Well, that's the thing. He's either going to win or finish 2nd or finish 10th, 11th,
and then
12th.
Everybody's going to go, y'all were all over him.
Yeah.
What do you think now? That's what they do.
But those bad finishes
they sit back and play Monday morning quarterback.
That's easy to do.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Those bad finishes, wasn't he just caught up in a wreck?
What about Denny? He comes out of Sonoma stinking up the show. Where's
the hate on Denny? Where's the hate on Denny?
What leads me to believe that he's going to be this concrete king?
Because it's a Oval, and
Okay.
Because he's Denny.
right.
Denny Bros.
Denny
We're
Bros
talking
over
Denny
here.
Bros over
So
here.
what made you
He
think
won
that he
there
was?
last year?
He did win
He's
there
led the
last
most
year.
laps
Doesn't
there
matter.
last
He's
year.
struggling.
Where's he
Struggle bus.
What do you mean? Where's he struggling? What
He
are you
just
doing?
ran bad at Sonoma.
His last two
struggling.
races, average
Russell.
finish is 12th.
Russell, what were those
Yeah.
statistics?
He's finished top 5 in 4 of the last 6 races.
Suck
all
it,
but
TJ.
Atlanta and Sonoma.
Love it. Let's go.
I love the Denny pick.
I do too. Denny,
Welcome aboard, boys.
Larson. Now sell me on Blaney.
Blaney was 7th and 3rd in the last 2 Dover races. Average running position in the next gen car, 8th. I just don't think it doesn't sound great, but your other options for a Ford driver, this is not a great Ford track for them. So
All right.
I agree with
Blaney will finish either top 5 or get wrecked.
That's reassuring.
that's the problem this year.
Wow.
But what other Ford driver are we going to pick right now?
I would throw.
Logano really struggles at this track.
He does. What's the deal? Why does he struggle so bad here?
His average finish in this car here is 25th.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I would throw Priest just because it's RFK car and he's
Priest
been
has
running
been
good.
quietly
but
good,
I had
man.
no stats to back that up.
No.
I trust Blaney more, but I would throw Priest as maybe my second.
That would be the choice we would have made using our prior thought process. So we're not going to choose Priest.
We're going Blaney. I like
going Blaney.
But
I like
for a
Blaney.
long shot, you could go. You could have a long
Yes.
shot.
I'd
pull
play that
too, yeah.
separately, maybe.
Priest
Just hedge
top-
you a little bit.
Priest top 10.
Priest top 10, yeah, that's on the list.
For sure. So
Well, TJ, you can't bet, but you know this track and these drivers. Who are some of the drivers you like?
I like everyone we talked about. I think William Byron will be really good here. I think Chase Briscoe is going to be really
Chase
good.
Briscoe. Watch
I
out
think
for Chase Briscoe.
I think he's going to be good.
All right.
Do you think it's a matter of him just figuring out this Toyota car?
I think
it's
he's
just taking
kind
him
of
some time.
figured it out. I think he has. I think it's there. I think he's there.
It's going to qualify.
And
top
they've got some weird momentum. I know
It
kinda,
is.
The
It's
schedule's been and it's hard to like take what they've done since Pocono and move it forward to a Dover because it's such a different track. But it feels like it could continue.
it does.
He could blow up our manufacturer's parlay. Guys,
It probably will.
Don't worry.
I will
He probably
call.
good odds.
I will text him and say finish behind Denny.
I'll
Well,
let
he's
Denny
joining.
know.
He's in the football jail
Yeah.
now, so you can just talk to him in there too.
Football jail.
He's in the football deal.
Oh, it's football jail.
Jail.
That's what it is.
I heard jail too.
Sorry, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some drivers for some top tens or long shots. You mentioned Priest. Another driver that I kind of like here in a possible top 10 rebound is Josh Berry.
Yes, he's on my list too.
Yeah.
Good number. I think he needs it. This is
He
a
had some good
turnaround
runs.
track.
You know, he ran the Spire car here years ago, and that's why I think like Chastain had a really, really solid run a long time ago in a Premier car, I think number 15. I remember being in that race and going, who the is this guy? And so anytime a driver goes to a track and runs well the very first time they compete there, they seem to like attach to that for some reason,
Yeah.
and it just repeats.
Yeah.
Right?
It's weird how that
It
works.
is. And so like Texas was that track for me. And so I see this kind of being a place where if Josh Berry has a decade-long career, I think his numbers at Dover will be probably, for him top 2, top 3 numbers.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, and
He's on my list.
Yeah. Who else?
Who do you got?
How about Ricky? I mean, he's not running great,
Bowman?
but he's good here.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a big Bowman fan.
Bowman, yeah.
Whoa.
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 Say that again.
This week, just this week.
I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
Man. Yeah, no, I think Bowman's an easy top 10.
This is probably, you could say this is his best track. He's
Yeah.
got 5 top 5s here, most of any track. He's been top 10 in like 6 of the last 7 here,
Yeah.
I believe. And then he was collected in an accident in like lap 7 in the other one.
Can you bet top 15s or just top 10s?
No, top 10s, top
Okay.
5s, top 3s.
I'll tell you.
I feel like that Josh Berry deals, you're gonna bet that top 10, he's gonna get you an 11th or 12th. Bowman though, I mean, I see a bad day for him as an 8th, 9th place finish here.
Yeah.
So I think he's a secure top 10.
Yeah, he's good there.
Kyle Busch is kind of in that Bowman range too here. He runs
Kyle's
really well.
been-
How's Busher at this track?
Busch.
I don't know if I
He had
think
some
he's
good
okay.
success. He had some good success here in Xfinity back in the day.
Like Russ said earlier, Ford's not really great here.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of avoid some
I
Fords.
wonder why Ford just doesn't run good.
I don't know. I feel like this is one of Brad's better tracks. We've been fast there. I think Noah. This could be a Noah Gragson track.
He's struggled here lately.
Russ, what do you have on Busher?
But last year, didn't Noah run good there last year? He was up in the top 5 to 7 for a long time.
He finished 6th there last year.
That was the first race, though, or the second? Or is there one?
There's only one race.
Only one Dover?
Only one race. It was in April last year, too.
I forget how long we've been going to Dover just once. So it was in April. Remember he had that weird top, weird
Vegas,
sort of 10.
Dover.
Noah Gragson fired off like 10 good races at the beginning last year. But then the second half of the season was more akin to how he's been running this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to bet the Noah bet because I don't think he's anywhere near where he was here last year in April.
I'd go Ricky over Noah if you're going to go long shots.
That's a long shot.
Ricky's pretty good.
They
here.
are struggling.
They are struggling.
Ricky shows up at the end here.
Since Ricky got wrecked,
Since
Ricky got wrecked at Nashville,
he's been not the same.
Not the same.
Not at all. That'd be my one fear.
With a couple late cautions, Ricky he'll be good. That's where those guys kind of ride around near the back most of the day. They get a free pass.
With Ricky, I feel like if he's good at a track, you just have to bet him because he'll just pop up out of nowhere.
He does. He knows what to do.
This racetrack though doesn't lend itself to that 20th place guy to like squeak out an 8th.
My fear too is if he doesn't start up there either, it's hard, I feel like, to get up there.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
This is a pretty straightforward track position style event. You qualify good, you run good, you rarely are going to lose that track position unless you make a mistake on pit road or something like that. It's hard for a guy to like cycle himself out of 20th into the top 10. Mm-hmm. And so, there's pretty straightforward strategy. Everybody's getting 4 tires every pit stop. So I don't know. This is a tough one for the underdog.
Yeah.
Russ, is there any drivers you think are worth avoiding?
Like we talked about earlier, Logano for sure. I would avoid him. Yeah. He just has not been good here. He's never won here. And then Bubba Wallace is another one that hasn't run well here. His best finish is 11th here.
Bubba's bad.
and he's just, they've been struggling lately too. Like it's been on a points huge slide for them. So,
and we're probably getting towards the point where he's got to race for points to be smart and not go for the win. So,
I think he's got to go for the win because of where he is on the cut line.
He's not going to point race.
No, that cut line's about to move. Somebody's going to win, and he'll be.
It is.
He's going to find in one race with a winner below that cut line. He's going to be 30 points out. So he's got to race like he's got to race like he needs the win.
Which then I guess could then make you not want to bet top 10 because he's racing for the win. If something happens, he's going to fall out.
I don't know. I don't think it matters. It's not a road course. There's not a lot of cycling of strategies, and
just depends if there's a couple natural cautions. It might split it, but it's got to happen at the right time. Still though, tough. It's all on fuel.
Mm-hmm. All right. This Dirty Modo segment was brought to you by FanDuel, the premier gaming destination of the United States. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Tampa Tims. All right. Now it's time for the white flag here at the Dale Jr. Download. The teardown was live on YouTube and Twitter following the race. Door bumper clear dropped on Monday. They were joined by Michael McDowell, and Actions Detrimental also dropped that same day. My guest interview drops tomorrow. It's going to be a little different for the Becoming Earnhardt series that we've been releasing every Sunday. We had Doug Richert for a long, in-depth interview. We took some of the sound bites out of that interview to help with the series of Becoming Earnhardt. Well, now we're going to publish the entire conversation so you can hear more from Doug about that 1980 season. Becoming Earnhardt is all available now, all 6 episodes, so you can tune up and listen to that if you haven't. It's an incredible series that highlights a lot of the drama that unfolded during the championship run for that number 2 Osterlund team that Doug was a part of. Also dropping on Wednesday is Speed Street and Herman Schrader. And then another episode of Bless Your Heart. Amy joined me in Sonoma this past weekend. We'll have a lot of updates around that. So it should be a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.